So, for anybody else who's struggling, oh, sorry about that, was a little unstable. Anyone else who's struggling this holiday season to find reasons to be happy, and I'm not talking about the stupid politics shit that everybody's got going on right now. Everybody's like killing each other over it. I'm talking about just the holiday itself. Everybody's got reasons they don't like a certain holiday, whether it's a bad memory that's associated with it, their family life changed and fell apart, or they have a job where they travel so they're not even able to celebrate the holidays with their family. That shit sucks. I'm so sorry. I'm battling with that too. Like, a lot of things have changed with my own family. It's not the same. It probably never will be. And I'm learning to try and find ways to get into it again. Like, I do like sing the Christmas movies and the music. I love the food. I'm not particularly a fan of winter because the cold weather really hurts for my disability, but so I started following these two British guys since joining TikTok, and I don't know if they're like brothers or friends or whatever, but the way they find so much joy in the littlest things is so enlightening to me. It took a long time for me to get to that place myself after what happened to me a few years ago where I almost, met my demise. I've been looking at things a lot differently now. And despite, my complications with my health and everything, I had to find happiness in the smallest things. Different places I want to visit someday that I've never seen, or different foods I've never tasted, or a certain way it's been made. I got friends that live in different states and a couple in different countries that I hope I can meet one day and give a real hug to. I've met a couple, and I hate that it took so long for that to happen because of how long we've known each other, and it was like the best feeling ever. I was a little awkward at first though too, because I just am. I get nervous. And I think part of it too is I've become such a bigger introvert than I ever was. So social interactions in general can be give me a little too much anxiety. And with my medical issues too, I have like sensory issues and stuff, so a lot of the different like stuff with the environment can be severely overwhelming, especially when I have any like environmental triggers. Like, I still like to go out and do stuff, like I love concerts and everything, but that's one of those things that's more overwhelming than some of the other things, because it's like there's so many people, it's loud, and there's still bright flashing lights and stuff. Oh god, I need like days at a time after something like that to just be by myself and recover from all that. Ugh, it's too much. But yeah, it's like, I started watching these guys, and when they visit like America and I try these different foods and see these different like sceneries and stuff, they're so excited, like little kids at Disneyland, and it's so enlightening to me. So for me, because I live in Massachusetts, when I go to places like Florida, that's way different. You got all the palm trees and the more tropical scenery, and the buildings and stuff are a little different, and it's exciting for me. It's like a whole new world, and it's like I said, you just have to find the happiness in the little things. And like, a lot of things might really suck right now, but life is too short. And I think when I almost, met that end, it's kind of like it was like a second chance. Granted, it was my own fault because I tried ending my life. I was just so deeply depressed between, my mental health struggles and my medical health. And I think about the life I could have had before all this, and I mourn that every day. I see people out there who don't have the issues I have with their medical health, and they could make beautiful lives for themselves, and they just throw it in the trash and make bad decisions and get themselves arrested doing bad stuff and hurting people, and it's really like disheartening to see. So I'm like, well, I have all these issues, but it doesn't mean I can't make the best of a bad situation. I had to sit with myself one day and be like, what can I do that goes along with my disability? Like, say, for example, work. I'm on Social Security disability, but it's hard to survive off of that. You want to be able to have enough of your independence despite your complications, and have like my own place, and to still be able to afford to go out and do things when I'm feeling okay enough to do that, and buy groceries and this and that. I want to be a writer. I want to write my own books. Like, I saw you can do with certain websites, you can do self-publishing, like on Amazon, you can set your prices, and they take like a percentage, and I have to look further into that, but I was like, this is something I can do. I can sit here and type on a computer. And you know, my mind is always going. My family told me that I was always pretty creative because like I liked reading a lot growing up, and I liked English class, even though I just for the most part hated school. But I like stuff to do with writing and like creative ideas, and it's like, why not apply that and make something of it? I mean, I can't guarantee that it's gonna become anything big, and maybe it will, maybe it won't, maybe, you know, only some people like my work. You kind of have to learn to take the criticism along with everything else. And it's probably be people that'll be biased, they'll leave reviews, talking about me as a person because of some shit I went through with them, and hopefully you can take those reviews down. Can you do that if you contact like Amazon? Like, I'm sorry, but this is like one of those stupid ass biased reviews that have nothing to do with my work. Something to look into, I guess. But yeah, for anyone, you know, like I said, anyone else out there who's struggling to find happiness again, you just gotta learn to do that. And sometimes, you know, this has helped me too. You look at the people whose lives are worse than yours, I guess that helps a little bit. And then there's people who have so much more they can work with, but they choose not to, and that can be so frustrating. Like there was this someone I grew up with, kind of like we were like acquainted. I wouldn't say we were really friends, but we had some of the same friendship circle and stuff. And he took his life around the same time I did, like maybe so many months after. And he succeeded. And one of the things that broke me was he had kids. You know, he wasn't with either one of the mothers, but he had kids who were upset about his demise. And I guess it came out after the reason he wasn't really spending time with them was because it was his choice. He was depressed, he was an alcoholic, and all I could think to myself is, these poor kids, not only do they have to suffer the loss of their dad, who wasn't putting in effort anymore to see them, but he missed a chance of getting himself together and getting clean from his drinking, or getting help for his depression. And he had kids, you know, he had something to live for, and he just threw it away. And for a while I suffered this what's the word? I'm really having a hard time remembering what it is. Survivor's Guilt. And I started to think to myself, I don't feel like I have much to live for. Why am I alive and he didn't, you know, make it? And I stopped doing that to myself and thinking my life doesn't mean have any less value just because I don't have kids, and, you know, I can't go out and have an physical active job and stuff. I can still find reasons to be here for myself. And, you know, there are the people in my life that actually care about me being here, and the ones that show me how much they were broken up over what happened to me, and or were relieved that I'm still alive. It meant everything. And then there's some people that showed me they could have given two shits less that I'm still here, or that I almost died, or any of that. Which is another reason why I have such a small circle of friends now. I started to pull back and really just see a lot of my relationships with people for what it was. So many that the problems are more about what, you know, the things that come to me about with their own dilemmas in their life, and I pour myself into them, and they don't show the same interest with me, and it hurts. So yeah, it's a lot to it. You gotta separate yourself from the people that drain you, just do not care about you as much as you care about them, and put that focus back on you, and find the little things in your life that just make you happy. Your favorite TV shows, your favorite books, the favorite foods, the foods you never got to try because you want to eat a certain thing in a certain like country. I want to eat pizza in Italy one day. I want to eat a big juicy steak in Texas. I want to eat French fries in France, even though it's technically not supposed to be a French fruit. It's just, I guess the word is in there. So, I would say have a beer in Ireland, but I don't drink anymore, so that's kind of like whatever. But I have ancestors from Ireland, and I would love to see the county one day that my name was inspired by. Like, my Nana chose my name because of there's a county in Ireland called Count Kerry, because my mom could not think of a name for me, and she asked my nana what kind of counts are there, and she came up with my name that way. And I think that's really cool, and I want to visit that county one day, you know. So I'm trying to find the reasons to keep going when I want to just throw in the towel and say fuck it. And you got to do that, especially in today's world, because there's so much chaos and hatred and selfishness. So, you know, whenever you get down on life for whatever reason, find something to keep you going. If it has to do with something else or another person, to start, you know, focus on that and slowly learn to love yourself in between. For me, it was my cat and a few of my close friends, and then I'm slowly from there I started to put more focus back on myself and what it is I want out of life. And despite the fact that, you know, one day my body will probably break down more as I get older, with my medical health and stuff, it's like I'm still alive. I can still kind of do this and that. I'm gonna go and do this and that. So I hope that helped somebody out there who's struggling and just wants to give up for whatever reason. And if you're thinking, I don't understand what it's like to be bullied and this and that, because, you know, the people who are like gay or trans and like you don't understand, I do. I've been picked on for my disability, actually. I've had people make me feel like a burden, or make me feel bad that I can't, like, match up with their energy, or this, you know, just these different things. It's pretty fucking horrible, the things I've had said to me. I was actually bullied in middle school, too, for being white, believe it or not. People don't think that's a thing, but it is. I went to a middle school that was mostly Spanish, and it was really only a couple of these girls. I really didn't have any problems so much with any of the guys, but they made fun of me for being really pale and having freckles, and I had really bad dander. I mean, I kind of do to a point, but not like I did when I was younger. It was like, I swear to God, you run your fingers through my hair, and it was like Christmas in July. And I got picked on for that, and they kept saying something about lice, and it wasn't lice, but, you know, there are other people out there that do get bullied for other reasons that have nothing to do with their choice of the sex that they're interested in, or whether or not they want to be a different sex. Please do not think you're alone. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. So anyone that watches this all the way through, I want to say have a nice rest of your weekend, and try your best not to let everybody make you feel like shit for living your life or your choices, whatever. Just ignore all that. Focus on your life right now and just watch something happy.